An honor to meet you, ma'am. Royal selfie. Cheesesteak!
Donald Trump, the now officially former president of the United States, and a man who has been divisive, controversial, egotistical, corrupt, and more for many years now, not the least of which was the last 4 years of his presidency. During his time in the White House, he worked very hard to sow seeds of discontent, racism, and more, even saying he loved the followers who tried to do an insurrection at the Capitol on January 6th. But now that he is gone, out of office, what comes next for him? Well, it's something. So behold, as Donald Trump's future plans are revealed. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Number 7. Watching his work being undone. Let's start off this list with a cold hard truth that Donald Trump is very much going to endure for at least the next 4 years. Because President Joe Biden made no bones about the fact that his first 100 days, which many say are the president's biggest and best opportunity to go and be productive, were going to be filled with all sorts of changes to the country. And sure enough, in just his first day and then his first week, he made various executive orders and rescinded ones that Donald Trump had put into power. For example, he rescinded a last-minute order by Trump that banned transgender people from serving in the military. A true slap in the face of the LGBTQ+ community. But then Biden reversed it, and now that is not an issue. He's also gone and lifted the Muslim ban that Trump put in early on in his term, and most recently, Biden went and put a pause on deportations. Though that has been fought via judges, but it is still a change. This is no doubt something that is going to infuriate Donald Trump for the very basic reason that he felt 100% that everything he did was right and true and best for America, when in fact all it did was go and make America even worse. Now, President Joe Biden is clearly aiming to fix things as fast as he can before going and doing his own plans for the country. As a result of that, Trump has no choice but to sit back and watch as Biden continues to whittle down the impact that Trump had on the country overall. Number 6. Sowing seeds. That being said, that doesn't mean Donald Trump has no power at all, because as much of a jerk and racist as he is still a citizen and a businessman and a politician. That means he has the means and ways to go and make his will and words known. That's after all how he got elected if you really think about it. Now sure, at present, he's honestly been quiet. It's been over a week since he left office and he hasn't done anything of note. Part of this would be because of a lack of communication on certain services, but we'll get to that one later. However, when he feels he's ready to get back into the ring, you can bet that he'll go and make appearances on places that support him like Fox News, OAN, and more just to ensure that he gets heard and heard a lot. He'll keep trying to bring more MAGA supporters the encouragement they need to go and do what needs to be done to help America. And it won't just be them. He'll be reaching out to his political party and beyond to get his supporters to do things on his behalf, which not surprisingly they're happily doing, to the extent that the other thing that Trump will be focusing on for now is number 5, impeachment. Impeachment is a word that many people know in the world, especially in America, but in its finite form is something that most people miss. Most people think that impeachment means someone is getting kicked out of the presidency. But that's not what it is at all. In fact, all it does is show that Congress wants to investigate the current sitting president and hold them accountable for their actions. 4 presidents have now had to face impeachment: Andrew Johnson, Richard Nixon, Bill Clinton, and Donald Trump. Johnson skated by thanks to a close vote. Nixon resigned before the trial could be had. Clinton also skated by, and Trump has been impeached twice. Now, the first time nothing happened because the Republican Party held Congress. And now, though the Republicans don't hold Congress, they're using their influence to try and make sure that Donald Trump either A, doesn't go to jail, or B, the trial is a sham and thus nothing can happen to him. This may be the real reason why he's being quiet right now, because he knows that he is in potential danger, even if it's small, and he won't risk any backlash coming until he knows he's out of the blast radius of this potential impeachment. Number 4, back to business. One of the things that Donald Trump bragged about when he went and did his first political campaign was that he wasn't a politician. He was a businessman, and a successful businessman at that. Now, while that was true in one facet, as he never ran for office outside of president, his successful businessman claim was fought all throughout his campaign and his presidency. Not the least of which was because he refused to show his taxes, and many businesses that he opened up failed or were scams, like Trump University. Because of his presidential status, Trump had to give up his businesses and let others run them so that he could focus on running the state. Now, naturally, this didn't happen as you would expect, and he fought tooth and nail alongside his family to go and do everything that he wanted. But now that he's free of the White House, he can absolutely go back to his work, and companies can try to reinvent himself once more to go and ensure that he gets all that he deserves. Of course, the problem with that is... Number 3, federal investigation. You might be thinking, wait a minute, didn't we just talk about impeachment? And you would be right. However, this isn't impeachment that we're talking about here. We are talking about federal agencies like the IRS, FBI, and more getting involved to see if Donald Trump is committing various crimes via his businesses. This notion was brought up in the later parts of his presidency, as his taxes were eventually revealed, and as you would expect, he barely paid any taxes because he used loopholes to get around certain safeguards meant to ensure rich people like him would go and pay a lot more in taxes. And that says nothing of some of the things he did both as a citizen and as a president. He ruffled a lot of feathers on both ends. And now that he's out of office, certain protections that were afforded to him are now gone, which means he might be in danger of a federal probe and investigation to expose much of his wrongdoing. And that says nothing of the more personal things that he might be going through. Or did you forget that his married life is a joke? Number 2, Melania. Now, there are a lot of things that you can say about Melania Trump, not the least of which is that while she may not be as evil as Trump, she is very much complicit in various things that he did in office. And as certain photos from her time as First Lady will show you, she is no saint. But looking to the more compassionate side of things, it is also fair to say that she was in a loveless marriage that was only made reality in order to make Donald look good in certain ways, which, as other photos of the two in the White House will show, did not work as well as he would have liked. The reason we're bringing up Melania here is that she has been rumored to want to divorce Donald Trump as soon as they got out of office. At present, it hasn't happened yet, but most are expecting it to happen soon. Unless Donald can promise her something, of course, which wouldn't be above him one bit. Perhaps this is why we haven't heard from him. Or perhaps he's plotting. Number 1, re-election. No, we're not saying he's still going to fight the ruling that Joe Biden won the presidency. However, because he was only a one-term president, he does indeed have the option to go and run for president again. He even cited, before being banned from Twitter, that he would follow the path of former President Grover Cleveland and run again in 4 years. Now, he will find this a lot harder, not the least of which is that he's banned from most social media websites like Twitter, Facebook, and onward. The GOP also might not be with him depending on how the next 4 years of President Biden go. Sure, he'll have supporters, obviously, but will it be enough? We don't know. That being said, you can bet that Trump is not going to give this up because he believes he is the true president, and he'll fight even when everyone in the world is telling him not to. So what do you think? What do you think of this look at the various elements of Donald Trump's future and how it all might play out? What do you think is going to happen to him in both the long term and the short term? Do you think that Congress is going to press charges against him? Do you think federal agencies will try and come after him for crimes while he was in office? Do you think he'll try and run for president again? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and we will see you next time on the channel.